Hi there and welcome to the UkeStuff channel. I have an unboxing here today. Now on this channel, unboxing videos are a way for you to see what's coming up in reviews and also have the chance to see me interact with an ukulele for the first time. Today, if you are a music educator, there are just a few stores that cater specifically to you. Now, if you're watching this channel and you're not a music educator, you might be thinking, why would I care? And maybe it's just for the information of this video. One of the things that's true is that schools are often told that they can only buy from specific proven vendors. You have a certain number of stores that you can buy from. Unlike an individual that can just go online and buy from the cheapest vendor or whatever, that isn't often true for music educators. So here's where it comes down to. You're a music teacher. You want to buy ukuleles for your students. Where are you going to buy them? Now, what if you could buy your ukuleles from a preferred vendor at a price sometimes right above, right below, or right at what you could buy it from Amazon? That becomes a win-win, and that's what we have here today. So, knowing that I am a clinician for Peripole, what I'm about to show you is the Peripole Classic Ukulele, which is made by Enya. Now, it isn't branded as Peripole at this point. It's branded Enya. It's a traditional Enya tenor laminate ukulele that we're going to be taking a look at. But Peripole is the sole educational vendor for Enya. And Enya is, again, one of the companies that I like very much. Let's take a look at this instrument. So here comes the box. It's your normal, I don't know what you'd call that, triangular box. I don't think it's officially a trapezoid, but I'm going to open up the back of it. This one is going to be the tenor version. Now that's interesting to me because if you watch this channel, you know that generally I play concerts. However, I do have instruments of all scales from sopranissimo all the way up to bass ukulele, so I play everything. But it's been a while since I've taken a look at a tenor Enya. So let's take a look at this. Now, the other thing I need you to know is that when music educators buy something, often they're at the mercy of the store of the deal that you get. And when you buy that item, sometimes you don't get a whole lot. And this is where the Enya sends music educators kind of crazy. Now, if you are used to Enya, you're used to all the stuff you get. But for a music educator and having to buy from certain vendors, that's kind of a surprise because otherwise you would pay a lot. So let's make sure I've got everything loose here that I can get into it. And let's open this case up. Here we go. Now, on the inside, you get your traditional Enya bag. There is nothing to complain about with this bag. Most schools don't even get a bag anywhere near this with the ukuleles that they buy from an approved vendor, if they get a bag at all. So this one comes with one, and it has a hook on it. So that means that the ukulele can be stored in its bag in your room on a hook. That actually makes a big difference because what are you going to do with the bag otherwise? You have a front zipper where you can put things. And of course, then you have the ukulele itself. Now, before we open up this particular ukulele, let's look at the other things that come with it. Again, if you are an individual that has bought an Enya, you're kind of used to this kit. It's one of the best kits in the business. However, if you're a music educator, the idea that you get all this stuff too, it's like, wow. So let's take a look at what you get. Also, by the way, I think they include lessons on OK Musician that you can tap into. So that's included with the purchase. So you get a cleaning cloth. You get the traditional Enya finger shaker. You get the capo. You get extra strings. You get a tuner. You get picks. I don't know why Enya includes the picks. And then you get your ukulele strap. We'll take a look at that really quickly. And this ukulele strap is a double-ended strap, which tells you that the ukulele is going to have strap buttons as well. Now, if you part all that out at a normal music specialty store, music education specialty store, That's a lot of money right there with those things. However, you get all that, the gig bag, and the instrument. Once again, if you're an individual, you're like, so what? And he does that all the time. But in the world of music education, in the world of schools, that is something else. All right, now let's open up the ukulele and show you what you get. You get a nicely padded case, and inside we have our ukulele. One of the things I like about Enya is that they do include the bag that says Enya. That's always a nice effect. And let's take a look at it as we go. So, you get a crown headstock with kind of the cool new Enya logo. I like that. That's also available on their Enya Nova as well, that same logo. Now, incidentally, Peripole also carries the Enya Nova. Okay, there are a couple tags here, and in order to read them, I'm going to have to put on my glasses, so excuse me for a moment. The top one is just a little thing that says that it's the Enya strings, and then you have a little listing here. So the model is the EUT 200A. It's a tenor, mahogany top, mahogany back and sides. And again, when a company says mahogany and not solid mahogany, it means it's laminate, just so you know. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. The neck is mahogany. That is solid mahogany, side note. Fretboard is black rich light, which is important because as a technical wood, then it shouldn't expand with weather and should be pretty resistant to sharp fret ends. The nut and saddle are oxbone, and of course the Enya fluorocarbon strings. So let's take a look at the rest of it as we go. Mahogany is really nice and dark and stripy on the plate there on the headstock. Okay, we're going further down. Then you get your body and you get the pull-through bridge. A lot of music educators are going to freak out at that because they haven't seen that before, but it's easy enough to change those strings. It's not as hard as people make it out to be. And then there is the rosette around the sound hole. There are strap buttons on the instrument, but it's a standard laminate mahogany Enya ukulele. And if you're paying attention to Enya, which has really been on the American scene since the summer, I believe, of 2016 is when that first little round one hit the ukulele world with a major sale, and people learned about Enya really quick. When you learn about Enya, you find out they do a great job with their setups, they do a great job with their quality, and it's just a really reliable company, brand. So let's tune this up. Now I have noticed that Enya strings do settle in pretty quick, but it will probably slip its tuning. It just arrived here today, but let's just give you a little sound taste just at the beginning here. Now that's going really out of tune there on the A string, but it will settle down. Now this is a public service announcement for any music educator out there or anybody watching this video in general, which is when you have a new ukulele and you are tuning strings for the first time, it can take a while for them to settle. Some strings settle quicker than others, and there are strings out there that are so poor that they just never settle, but these will. The Enya strings I've been pretty happy with their most recent versions, and I'm using them on a few ukuleles. So ultimately, that A string really wants to sync though. A little bit of this too. Yeah. Now, we'll talk more about this ukulele when we do a full review in a few weeks. Remember, schools are awful places for instruments. The instruments get abused. You end up with low humidity in many, many schools, or extreme humidity because the climate control is just awful. And then as a result, you end up with a lot of instrument upkeep, sharp fret ends, sometimes bowing necks, instruments that are dropped, and other things. So laminate is subject to dropping and cracking. However, every ukulele is at some point. Laminate may not respond great to disinfecting in this time of the coronavirus. And if that's your case, check out the Enya Nova. More expensive, but all plastic and can be dealt with differently. But for many schools looking for a traditional ukulele, a wood ukulele rather than a plastic, thinking that wood is better than plastic, this is a great option for those schools if you're interested in such a thing. So, if you are a music educator, you can find out more about this instrument, the Peripole Classic Ukulele by Enya, at peripole.com. If you are an individual wishing to buy this, I'm not sure that this one is sold in the States anymore. It may be only being sold through Peripole, but you can inquire about that at peripole.com too. So, with that, watch for the review of this in a few weeks. I hope you are having a great day, and I will be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.